Alright guys, so welcome to day 25 of our 30 days of Photoshop retouching madness, where we retouch a picture every day for the next 30 days. And yeah, today happens to be day 25. We have this lovely image over here I downloaded online, and then we're gonna attempt to remove the stuff from her face and then make the face more smooth, and then yeah, the overall image looking much better than this. Yeah, my name is Ekodidia, by the way, and if you're new to this channel, kindly hit the subscribe button if you love content like this where you learn how to retouch your images or touch up your images in Photoshop, make your images look much better. Yeah, then this channel is the right one for you. You can just subscribe. Without further ado, let's jump straight into Photoshop and start editing. Alright, so right from the bed we have this image, and then as you can see we have some pimples and stuff on the face that we're gonna remove first and foremost. Yeah, as I explained yesterday, I love to do this because I don't want to do double work when I start smoothing the skin, where I have the texture layer on a different layer, and then the colors of the image on a different layer as well. So I love to do this now. I call this the basic cleanup. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to press and hold Ctrl and then J to make a duplicate of the background layer. That is the layer 1. Then I'm going to select the brush tool over here, as you can see, and then yeah, I'm just going to proceed by circling and then just dragging it to a much cleaner area. So you just circle and then drag to a much cleaner area like that. Circle and then drag, circle and drag to clean it up. Just circle, drag, circle, drag, circle, drag like that. So we have this circle and then drag. I'm hoping by this time you understand how the concept goes. So let me just speed this side up and then we'll proceed in the next step. All right. Let's zoom out. Let's check the before and after. So this is the before, and then there's the after. So this is before, and then there's the after. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Before, and then the after. Alright, so from here we're going to create our background layer. Sorry, we're going to create our frequency separation adjustment layer. So we're going to duplicate the layer 1 once more by pressing Ctrl and then J like this. So we have layer 1 copy and then layer 1. So we're going to double click on the name like this and then change this to color. So we're going to have our colors on that layer, and then this, double click on the name and then change this to texture. So we're going to have our texture over here as well. So you select the color layer now. You're going to hide the texture layer like this so that we can have only the color layer visible. So we're going to come here to filter. We're going to come to blur, Gaussian blur. And over here you can see there's not much details on our image. Let me just zoom out. As you can see, it's looking very blurry. I'm not seeing any details on the image. Yeah, that's exactly what we're going for. So we're going to come here and then select OK like that. Let me zoom out like that. There's no details in the image, as you can see. So now we're going to come to the texture layer like that and then make it visible like this. Then we're going to come here to image. Gonna come to applied image. Over here we're going to create our texture layer. So we're going to have our texture layer over here. So we're going to change this to color like this. Then we're going to keep the channels at RGB, and then here we're going to keep or change this to subtract, opacity at 100, the scale at 2, and then the offset at 128. So over here, as you can see, then we're going to come here to OK like this and accept the change. Then we're going to come here once more and then select the texture layer and then come to the blend modes and change this to linear light. As you can see, our image is back to how it was before. Alright, so Ctrl 0 to freeze the screen. And we're going to come over here once more and then put this in a group. So we're going to select and hold shift and then click on the color layer, then Ctrl G to put this in a group like this. We're going to change the name of this group to FS, meaning frequency separation. Then we're going to click on this arrow over here to open it up. Then we select the color layer. Alright, so if you want this created automatically for you, I have it in my digital store. You can check it out. The link is in the description box below. Yeah, so we having it over here like this. You just click on it and then it's going to create this for you automatically. No hassle, no stress or anything. Alright, so let's move to the next step. Alright, so we're going to come to the tools panel, to the tools panel and then select our mixer brush tool. As you know, I normally love to smooth the skin with a mixer brush tool. So there's the settings that we're going to use for it. You're going to keep this at soft round brush. Then you make sure this is set to clean brush. This is deselected. If this is selected, you're going to get solid colors when you start painting. So you make sure this is deselected. Make sure this is selected. And then you keep this at custom. The width at 100% is likely to change. Yeah, always keep it in mind. You're going to change this value depending on the effects you're getting on your image. Maybe the smoothing effect is too much. You're just going to change it. Yeah. So we have our load over here at 48%, and then the mix at 57%, the flow at 30%, and then this over here at 10%. All right. So this is smoothness of the brush. Yeah, at 10%. So I'm gonna proceed now. So you always make sure the color layer is selected over here. Then let's zoom into our image like this and start smoothing the skin. Alright, so we have our brush over here, everything is set. Then we're just gonna start brushing on it like that. So that's one thing that I always say, always make sure you're brushing within the tones of the image. Don't spread the midtones, sorry, don't spread the highlight into the midtones, and then don't spread the midtones into the highlight or the shadows. The same applies to the shadows. Don't spread the shadows to areas where it's not supposed to be. That is the midtones and then the highlight. Yeah, always brush within the tones like that. So you gently gonna keep brushing to smoothing the skin. There's this patch over here, that's the makeup couldn't cover, so you're gonna just bring the colors in to cover it up. So this is digital makeup. So you're just gonna brush it, just keep correcting things, keep correcting the tones like that. Yeah, so one thing you should also notice is whenever you're brushing, make sure you're blending the edges in, as in the edges of, you see over here is a highlight and over here there's a midtone, right? So you're just gonna brush and then blend the edges in. That's what is gonna give it that seamless kind of transition. Yeah, so you always take your time when you do this. All right, I hope you get everything that I'm trying to say over here. So I'm going to speed this side up and I'm going to be back in a bit. Let me zoom out. Let's quickly check the before and after. This is the before and this is the after. Let me zoom in a little bit more. This is the before and then this is the after. As you can see, our image is looking nice. Our skin is just looking very smooth. All right, so let's go ahead and remove some of the textures from my face. So we're gonna select the texture layer over here like this. Then we're gonna use the spot healing brush tool to do this. So we're just gonna decrease the size like that. Yeah, so the other day I said I was gonna try to soften the brush and then try it up. So I'm just gonna decrease the softness like this. Yeah, to about, let's keep it at 50%. Let's keep it at 50%. Yeah, 50% like this. I think that's fine. And let's try to work with it. So zoom in. and then brush like that. Well, it works fine. So I'm just gonna continue smoothing things up. Always make sure your texture layer is selected over here. Yeah, then you just dab or brush on any parts that you want to remove and to keep it more smooth. So I'm gonna speed the side up as well. Alright, so let's zoom out, Alt and then the scroll button to zoom out. Let's check the before and after. So this is the before and then there's the after. So you can see our image is looking fine. So one tip you should know is whenever you're removing the textures, you're not going to remove all the textures from the image. Otherwise, your image it's not going to look real. It's not going to look natural. I always love to keep my skin looking as natural as possible. So you just remove enough, but not everything. Yeah, so that you can have some skin pores in there. Yeah, so that's basically what I'm doing over here. I'm gonna come to the side and then just clean it up a little bit. So I just decrease the size of the brush and just brush. Come to the side, brush it up. Now let's zoom out, Alt, and then using the scroll button, and just scroll back like that to zoom out. As you can see, we have the skin textures on our skin, and then we have the smoothness going on as well. So one last thing, let me select the color layer over here, and then with the mixer brush tool selected once more, I'm just gonna go ahead and then just smoothen, just add a little bit of smoothness to it. Like that. Just the last and final touches. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so from here, you're gonna proceed to whiten the eye or do other corrections on the image. This side is not looking too good, so I'm gonna fix it once again with the spot healing brush too. I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. I'm just gonna brush on it like that. The texture layer selected though. I'm just gonna brush on it to clean it up. Yes, as you can see, we've easily removed it from there. I'm gonna come to this side as well and then just brush on it to remove this side as well. Yeah, just like that. Our image is looking much better. So we can now proceed to whiten the eye. So I have this in my actions. I'm gonna come here, just play it out by clicking on it, and then there we have it over here. So you're gonna select whenever you play it, it's gonna select the texture layer because that is what we're gonna use to work. That's what we're gonna work on, and then it has the brush tool already selected for us. So what you're gonna do is just proceed to just paint the eye. So with the foreground color set to white, you're gonna come and then just brush the eye to whiten it up. So it's gonna remove all the yellowish or reddish stuff from her eyes, and it's just gonna leave the white. I'm gonna come to her left eye as well and then just brush over it like that. Then we're gonna come to her teeth, just brush to remove, to whiten. Zoom out. We're gonna open this up by pressing on this arrow key over here, and I'm gonna add the curves adjustment layer on it. Then I'm just gonna create a point over here and then just increase it like that. As you can see, our eye is looking much whiter and much brighter. So I'm gonna hide this. This is before and after. There's the full before and then the after, like that. As you can see, our image is looking fine. This is what we're having now, guys. Our image is looking very nice. So you can now proceed to add your coloring to it, make your image look much better. And then yeah, we're gonna do color grading in another tutorial. So this is basically what we have today. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your time, and see you guys in the next one. Bye bye for now.